Good morning, peace and blessings. Happy Friday. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. And I'm back with some thoughts for the mind. I do apologize for slipping on the commentary. I've been very busy, this week. I normally drop more videos, but we're going to catch up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, on this one. And, man, first and foremost, man, I want to give a big shout out to Donald Trump and his administration. It's just crazy, man, because I don't know if you're aware, but there is the first step in a ceasefire as it pertains to Palestine and Israel, where, he's on the brink of um, stopping a, a war that has been basically going on for 3,000 years, man. Those people over there been fighting each other forever. And now, the hostages are on their way. All the hostages from Hamas are on their way home. Um, you know, it's a 20 step process to get total peace in that region of the world. And, while the government is shut down and all that, man, Trump's still been working, doing amazing things, causing peace, creating peace across, the planet, man. I mean, no, they've been trying to stop that war. United States been trying to intervene and stop that war for, man, 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Since the 70s. Every administration has tried to intervene and stop that war and has been, unsuccessful up until a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? Where we see that Israel and Palestine are willing to make the first step. Israel withdrew some of their troops. Hamas agreed to release the hostages, all of them. And man, people in Israel and Tel Aviv are celebrating. They popping champagne. They a lot of them back home with their family. They still got some more hostages. Unfortunately, some of them are not here no more. But I mean, the family still want their bodies. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is monumental. I mean, even the Democratic Party, a lot of them are, saluting Trump for making this happen. This is something that is monumental, you know, and a lot of talking points have been this, with a lot of liberals is just, yeah, we funding the war, we giving Israel all this money, and that's one thing I'm critical of, not only Donald Trump, but the America period. Like, why is all the tax dollars going to Israel like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's all that about? Like, I understand that they are ally, and we, in that region of the world, they are our eyes and ears, Israel, and and we fund their military. So I understand some money being allocated, but the amounts that we are sending them is just insane. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really critical of that. But what this does is it kind of kills that whole narrative that the prime minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, controls Donald Trump. Because I think Bibi wanted to keep bombing them people, but Trump got on his head and was like, "Hey, man, what you doing, man? I got Qatar, I got Egypt, I got Turkey, I got all these other Islamic nations on board. You need to go on here, man, and stop being negative." And with the way that Trump, it was very strategic, the way that he set it up with all the other Islamic nations to agree, and then came forth with Israel and and Hamas and Palestine, and everybody agreed. I mean, you would look crazy not to, with everybody that had already agreed to it. So shout out to President Trump, Marco Rubio, who's been very instrumental in negotiations and, peace through strength, man. This is like the seventh major war, you know what I'm saying? Or eighth major war that Trump has, brought some resolve to, some peace. People, being unalive, little babies and, women and innocent lives, man. It's just refreshing to see uh someone in office that really making a difference. And for people to, not get that man his some of them, I'm not saying all because I seen a lot of liberals and Democrats, for people to not get that man his props for doing that, you got a serious case of Trump derangement syndrome. Even if you don't like the man, you gotta acknowledge when people, because that make you disingenuous. It make you a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? If you've been sitting up here complaining about that, um, and you see something getting done for them people to not have to continue to be slaughtered, then for you to not say nothing is just, it's like, oh, you want to distract this, you want to go to another issue. It's like it ain't no pleasing people like that. They not gonna never admit it. It's just some people just don't want to admit anything as it pertains to Donald Trump. They just hate that man so much that he could do something that they champion, and they still just never gonna be. They ain't gonna never be straight up about the dude. They don't even know this man and hate him to that degree that he could do something that they've been advocating for. It's crazy. But yeah, once again, salute to everybody, not just Trump. We got to give it up to Qatar. We got to give it up to Egypt. We got to give it up to Hamas. We got to give it up to Palestine. Everybody involved, Turkey, that made this peace deal happen, man. Even Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's I'm I'm ecstatic that is, hopefully that the whole plan goes through and everybody involved make that happen. Because too many people, innocent people, losing their life. But yeah, to continue, you know, as the title says, they spent the reparations bag on illegal immigration. And this is crazy because, man, on my Facebook page, I made a sarcastic post. And it basically said, hey, I got a great idea. Why don't all of us get together, go to another country illegally, and let the people there, the government, give us free housing, free food stamps, free health care, and watch the locals that are from the said country go out and protest to keep us there while we live happily ever after. And a lot of people, black people, got mad at me for that post, man. And I mean, it's true. But the thing that was insane to me is that people were coming on my posts saying that, and make no mistake, man, I'm not targeting one specific group of people when we talk about illegal immigration. So I'm not, I think people think we throwing shade at brown people like Mexicans and Venezuelans that come over here. No, I don't care what color they are. Like I had to explain that. If they black, white, whatever, brown, yellow, if they come over here illegally and they undocumented, I don't care. Send the white ones home, send the black ones home, send them all home until and then I'm not saying you can't come back, but check this out. Go through the proper process. That way you could be accounted for. Because you come over here undocumented by the millions. That throws off everything. That throws off the economy, and that's a safety breach. And no nation can survive with an open border policy. None. Because you got people. Like when you got that many people that's undocumented in your society, we have a system that has to run like a well-oiled machine. Well, resources are going to be. We don't have unlimited resources. I don't think people really understand how devastating it is for. That's why every nation has border policies. You have to. But I'm not targeting one group of people, but I actually had people get on my post and say that, oh, illegal aliens don't get benefits. They don't qualify for health care, food stamps. They don't get benefits. You misinformed. I'm misinformed. Wait a minute, bro. If I'm misinformed, let's just look at the last 4 years. You had, they say somewhere anywhere from 15 to 25 million illegal immigrants coming to this country because they just left the border wide. They didn't enforce the immigration laws. They left the border wide open, and you have all these people come over in that short amount of time span. So one city in Chicago, one city, Mayor Brandon Johnson, being a sanctuary city, spent $638 million in the last 2 or 3 years on illegal immigrants. So if he spent that kind of money on illegal immigrants, $638 million, you mean to tell me none of that went to the benefits to take care of these illegal immigrants? You mean to tell me 638? How did they not get benefits if he spent $638 million in one city? And I'm seeing people that they saying that it's way. That's just what they saying. But he spent nearly $2 billion. So how do you explain? Like this lady wrote a whole novel on my post, was talking about how much they don't qualify for stuff, but I can't tell. They show getting they live in here. I mean, how they not getting benefits? How they eating? Then when I broke that down, she's like, "Oh yeah, 638 million. That's just to provide them with the basic necessities, the basic this, the basic housing, the basic." Ain't nothing about $638 million basic, especially basic. First of all, that's a bag. That's a reparations bag for the city of Chicago. Every black person in Chicago, tally them up, $638 million. They spent the reparations bag on illegal immigrants. While y'all going down there talking about we need our reparations for what we went through in this country as black Americans, and they told you we don't have it. It's it's unconscionable to think that we can give every black person a bag for reparations. But they find the money to take care of some illegal immigrants. Okay, if you want to call them asylum seekers. Oh yeah, she gonna say they stood up. Chicago stood up and took care of. Man, we ain't in the. How can you stand up and take care of asylum seekers in the city of Chicago? See, I know the facts. I know the numbers because I report on it. I said, why would we spend $638 million on asylum seekers? We ain't in no position to do that as a city when the school system in the black community is at a $770 million deficit. When the police department is at $100 million deficit. When the city of Chicago budget is at a $1.15 billion deficit. When the CTA, the public transit system, is at a $717 million deficit in county. Why would we sit up here and allow all these illegal immigrants to come? So, we're going to allocate money towards that than fix our school system. We short thousands of police officers, but we still asking the police department to cut 100 million. When we ain't even talking about, the crime, we just talking about the mismanagement of the funding. So if illegal immigrants ain't getting that funding, the black community sure ain't either. They spent the reparations bag all across this country. The Democratic Party has spent the reparations bag on illegal immigrants and told you in your face they ain't got it. It was schools that needed repairing in Chicago that they didn't revamp. Oh, we don't have the money to revamp the school, but they found it when it was time to house illegal immigrants. So how they not getting benefits? How they not taken from your community? And these people are undocumented. You say they seeking asylum. If they seeking asylum, they would be, it wouldn't be all these people at the same time just coming over here. You have to understand, we can only accept so many people seeking asylum at one time. We don't just let everybody in at the same time. You got to go through a process even for that. So I'm not trying to hear they seeking asylum like they had the whole situation. And then these the false narratives, man, that they run with. Like, they had the whole 75th and South Shore ice raids. And people were running around talking about, oh, it was black children out there zip tied 1 a.m. and all lies. Now the truth coming out, they talk about, oh yeah, they had women and children out there zip tied and it was all black. They ain't get. Now the truth coming out, black people on the ground like, wait a minute, the black people, that building was not even in working condition for anybody to be there. It wasn't even livable condition for anybody to be living there. And the people that were there were squatters. People that by law they can't be moved around because of the squatter laws, but they're not really supposed to be there. That building, nobody was supposed to be living there. 37 arrests of Venezuelan illegal immigrants. The lady that was going on there talking about, oh, they did this, they did that. Come to find out, she's a drug addict. These were drug addicts that were staying there that were squatters, that were paid to get on national television and say what they said. They brought up all the receipts. So all these lies about, and then they had this image of this little baby going around like a little 1 or 2 year old, like a police officer was handcuffing the baby. Come to find out, they took footage from a father and the son that was playing. They was playing cops and robbers, and he was just playing with his son, like, I'm gonna arrest you. They took that. That's how sick these people are. They took that footage of that father and that son and tried to use it like this what they did to them kids on 75th of South Chicago. Wasn't no kids, ain't no footage of no kids. Them people sat up there and got paid to lie about what actually happened. And you got black people that still running with that narrative because that's what they want to run with. They can't, their narrative can't survive if they don't run with that. They are disingenuous. But you going this far to protect illegal immigrants that if you was to go to their country, you'll be lucky to leave illegally. You'll be lucky to leave out with your life. Think about what happened to that black girl that went over there to Mexico. Shanquilla Robinson, that was unalived out there by her friends. And Mexico won't even doing the proper investigation to find out what happened to her. I'm just saying, like, people comment like, yeah, we probably, I'm like, all right, you could go to another country if you want to illegally and think that they gonna help you out. No, they are fighting against illegal immigration in Mexico for other Central Americans not to come there. Other Latino Central Americans not to come there. Why? Because the same reason we saying you can't just come into our country like that. All over Europe, they having this illegal immigration crisis. People have to protect their borders. And it's a slap in the face to people that go through the proper process for letting people just skip the line. But the Democratic Party sure came up with billions of dollars all across this country to take care of these people, but they tell you they ain't got it. You've been screaming about reparations for centuries, and they ain't got a damn, but they found it for these illegal immigrants. They spent the reparations bag on illegal immigration. I'm just saying, bro. They spent the reparations bag in your face and told you, and you don't even have questions for that. But you can hop on my platform. You can hop on my social media and tell me how I'm wrong that they don't get no benefits. Well, how do you explain all these hundreds of millions to billions of dollars? And we just talking about Chicago. We ain't talking about other sanctuary cities like New York, California, Massachusetts, over there. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about all these border states that all this money that the country is spending that are your taxpaying dollars. We could find the money for them, but you can't get no reparations. Hey man, it's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. Love y'all. Until next time, we should see you soon. Peace and bless.